As a youngster, I've always been passionate about motorcycles. Started riding motorcycles pretty early in life. I've been on many motorcycle tours myself, solo rides.
Ajith Kumar, the superstar, isn't just the movie icon you know. He's got a passion for all things on wheels that goes beyond acting. Whether it's on four wheels racing to victory or on two wheels. Putting stardom aside, he's leading a group of enthusiasts on an unforgettable journey from Romania to Bulgaria.
I did take a few of my friends along, and they suggested why not start a touring company, since they were quite excited, thrilled, and we came back with some good memories, and they liked the way I took them along for the tour.
Well, I'm really excited to be joining one such community today for a fantastic ride through Romania and Bulgaria. And it's made even more special by the fact that I'm joining none other than the superstar Ajith Kumar and his tour company.
It's not the journey, I think it's more the company, I guess. It's, so we're having good fun, sharing our experiences, from the past, and if you can see, there's some families here too, and so it's nice and really nice.
Over the next 7 days, we're hitting the road from Bucharest to Bulgaria and back. Expect jaw-dropping landscapes, twisty mountain roads, and legendary routes. Oh, and watch out for bears casually chilling by the roadside. So gear up and ride with Ajith Kumar and Venus Motorcycle Tours on a wild, unforgettable adventure through Eastern Europe. This ride promises adventure, connection, and stories to last a lifetime. The excitement in Bucharest was palpable and the biking group even more thrilling. Seasoned bikers with decades of experience, first-timers riding abroad, a couple chasing adventure together, a father-daughter duo sharing something unforgettable, and even the 70-year-old biker TT Varadarajan.
Hi, I'm Vardu. I drink beer and I ride motorcycles. This is my fourth trip with Venus. It is incredible riding with these guys because everything is sorted out for you, including gassing up, the food, the accommodation. And for an old man, there is always somebody to lead.
Helmets on, strangers shook hands, old friends embraced, and a brotherhood began to form. We rolled past Bucharest's Arc de Triomphe and the colossal Palace of Parliament, one of the heaviest buildings in the world. Finally, the E60 highway released us from the city's grip, air-cooled, and the horizon opened wide. Our first stretch took us towards Sinaia, a royal mountain resort once favored by Romania's kings. The road itself was straightforward, but the journey offered reminders of faith and culture. Ornate Orthodox churches stood roadside, their onion domes shimmering in the sunlight. From here, the ride transforms. Straight highways give way to winding mountain roads. Transfagarasan is also called Drumul Babelor, the road to the old dames. And as you climb higher into Bucegi National Park, the chaos of city life melts away. At the plateau, it's a great place to step off the bikes into vast meadows, where there's just the sound of cowbells in the distance. It's the kind of place where your mind slows down, deadlines, emails, and noise simply vanish.
Comfortable, fantastic, excellent, superb. This is the fourth word I am using. If you want me to explain a little more, this bike riding is my passion, and it makes my, it's a meditation and make me feel more younger, and it gives more creativity.
After a short but restful break, it was time for us to descend onward to one of Romania's most famous addresses, Bran Castle. So a short pit stop at Bran's Castle in Bran. Now this is a castle that was built in 1377 by the Saxons, but it's famous because here it's marketed as Dracula's castle. Although no one really knows if there was any connection between Vlad the Impaler and this castle. What it is now is a museum for Queen Mari's furniture and art collection. climb up to Bran Castle is steep, so if you do intend to go up, bring good shoes. With the sunset upon us, we rolled into Brasov, our stop for the night. And though we had ridden only 268 kilometers, the day had given us everything: highways, mountains, legends, and medieval castles. Brasov, nestled in the Carpathians, feels like stepping into a storybook.
My riding is my passion, but passion joins with the friendship, with the friends, it is more, enjoyable.
Today is the day where we would ride the legendary Transfagarasan Highway, often called the most spectacular road in the world. The Transfagarasan is less about reaching a destination and more about surrendering to the mountain itself. Brown bears lounged along the roadside, massive, calm, and unnervingly close.
When we got into the mountains, I think the first surprise was the bears. I've never been up so close to bears, so that was exciting and enthralling.
On this road, bonds deepened. Manohar and his daughter Anaga reconnected after years. Their bond, like a river, carving deeper with every kilometer.
Seeing the more relaxed side of him, it's nice to see, yeah.
We parents, we take children for granted that we know them in and out, but no, there are many facets of her that I'm coming to know in terms of her breakdowns or her emotional breakdowns, in terms of whatever it is. Probably I have to be more understanding and more subtle in the way I mentor her. So yeah, I'll be probably more patient with her.
Vidaru Dam appeared like a gateway, its colossal walls holding back a glittering reservoir. And then came the switchbacks, endless curves that tested rider and machine, carrying us higher and higher. From a viewpoint above, watching the riders snake their way up a road, it was like looking through heaven's gates. Well, as you can see, I've been inducted into the biker group officially today. I have my t-shirt, although I'm on 4 wheels instead of 2, but what a drive and a ride it has been. This road is famous because it's been known for its twisties, steep climbs, hairpin bends, and the winding road that everyone has been waiting for. It's the road that Jeremy Clarkson called probably the best road in the world, and now I know why. And it's been highlighted by a whole load of bear sightings. Every corner takes your breath away, and the higher we climbed, the colder it got. Finally, the heat was behind us. Clouds wrapped around us, rain slicked the tarmac, and the road became a test of focus and nerve. At Balea Lake, over 2,000 meters high, jackets came out as mist and rain turned the ride into something wild and unforgettable. The descent from there was slippery, dangerous, and exhilarating all at once.
I'm a pillion with my husband, Mr. Vijay. The moment after the launch and it started raining again, started pouring very, very heavy. Then I thought, yes, I am just going to be there in the bike, because I had two minds: should I go to the car or should I continue in the bike? Then I made up my mind. I thought I should not give up. 4 wheels move your body, 2 wheels move your soul. So I think this trip is more inspiring now. For me, I want to do more trips like this,
And by the time we rolled into Sibiu, we were soaked, cold, but grinning from ear to ear. The Transfagarasan had given us everything: wildlife, brutal weather, jaw-dropping beauty, and that unbeatable biker's high.
It feels really amazing. I was really nervous before joining, but Team Venus has been incredibly supportive. This is my first international ride. I haven't done much long rides, but the confidence that the team has given me, it's been incredible. I wouldn't have even dreamt my entire life that I would be able to ride in such conditions, such distance. So it's been really incredible. I am proud of myself, really.
Was it the bears, the misty peaks, the thrill of wet tarmac under our wheels? Hard to say. But one thing was clear: the Transfagarasan wasn't just a road, it was an experience. We left Sibiu under cloudy skies and the threat of rain once again. The drive out of Sibiu has been absolutely fantastic. Narrow, winding roads through lovely villages with beautiful houses on the side. And the views have just been stunning. We've stopped in this little town called Gina at this beautiful little cafe called Transalpina, which is the perfect place to stop because you have this fabulous view. But just remember, temperatures can change very drastically over here. It was quite warm in Sibiu, but as you can see, I'm bundled up now and it's cold. From Gina, the road winds through Valea Frumoase, small towns giving way to large conifers towards Sugag, where finally you meet the Transalpina proper. And then the climb begins. The Transalpina is a thrill a minute. It's the road closest to the clouds, and this 148-kilometer stretch winds through the Parang Mountains in the South Carpathians. It climbs up to Uderle Pass at 2,145 meters, and it's the highest paved road in Romania. The ascent to Uderle Pass feels like a road to the sky. Curves wrapping around cliffs, guardrails disappearing into sheer drops, fog enveloping you on a ride through the clouds. After the pass, it was an easy descent to Ranca for a welcome break and a hearty meal cooked on coals. From Ranca, the road descends once again, and it tested our nerves. Fog thickened, visibility dropped, and the rain came in sheets. Wet gloves, frozen fingers, visor fog, the mountains reminded us who was in charge. This ride was no longer about individuals, it was about us as one. And another epic 285 kilometers under the belt.
The opportunity to talk, meet with multiple people from various backgrounds and also allow them to share in various perspectives, divided by professions, united by motorcycles. That's what I would say.
That's the very interesting part in riding.
And the riders are doing really good, and we had a wonderful time and wonderful ride.
Yeah, I think one thing is, I thought about it, that why I enjoy riding so much, especially with my friends. Maybe it's how the DNA is, where, we used to ride horses, exploring things for, days and weeks away from our home. So that's in our DNA, exploration and riding together, that brotherhood. And, not being gender specific, but that's the term, brotherhood.
Morning came with anticipation. Today, we would cross into Bulgaria. The route took us along the Danube through flat farmlands. It's a short ride to Calafat port from Craiova. And leading up to the bridge are plenty of lovely little cafes along the street for a quick coffee stop. The chats at coffee breaks with all the bikers always brought up stories, and it was interesting to see how many of them had been inspired by Ajith Kumar.
When I saw Mr. Ajith Kumar, he's enjoying himself on a motorbike. And I was thinking why don't I just try to deviate myself from cars and go to a motorbike. So I got a bike last year, somewhere in June, and then I just experience how it actually feels. But it's very different. It's very different from the car. And then riding a bike in a different country is giving me a different perspective. So that's the reason. But I picked because of Mr. AK himself. Yeah.
It all started from the Venus motorcycle tour that Ajith started last year. That's where my riding process started. It is definitely difficult. I never rode a super bike before. So all I trust is, at least in this case, the Venus motorcycle tours, Mr. Yash and Mr. Shiva sir. So they make sure I'm so comfortable on the rides and they ensure they give all the rules, instructions properly. So that allows me to enjoy the ride easily.
We crossed over the Vidin Calafat bridge, clearing immigration, and were into Bulgaria easily. Here's a tip across the Danube. A great place to catch a meal is the Rechnagara restaurant, which gives you a fantastic view of the river and Romania on the other side, along with a good meal. The ambience was perfect for sharing stories of the day gone by.
After the ride through the Transalpina, something you feel when you're riding through it, and I made a poem out of it. You can push the bike a bit more, and that makes you feel more alive.
When you get good roads and good bike, it's like a meditation for a rider.
After a hearty meal, back on the bikes, the group headed towards Sofia. The ride from Vidin to Sofia stretches for about 200 kilometers, but don't be fooled by the distance. It's a journey full of character. By afternoon, Sofia welcomed us with its sprawling boulevards and golden domes. The Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, one of the largest Orthodox churches in the world, gleamed in the sun. Its Byzantine arch is a reminder of Bulgaria's proud identity. Parking the bikes near the Grand Hotel Sofia, we couldn't help but feel the journey had come full circle, from the quiet edge of the Danube to the lively pulse of the capital. A short walk from Grand Hotel Sofia, which incidentally is bang smack in the city centre, is the lively, bustling Vitosha Boulevard. Lined with restaurants and beer bars, it's a great place to wind down the day and dine.
The next day was a break day in Sofia. And while most people would head out sightseeing, bikers do what they always do, bike gear shopping. And incidentally, Bulgaria offers great prices for those that want gear.
On the penultimate morning, our engines fired up, once again carrying us deep into the Balkan mountains. Leaving the Grand Hotel Sofia and the heart of Bulgaria's capital buzzing behind us, we pointed the bikes east towards the mountains.
The trip is almost coming to an end. We had a great break day in Sofia, but today we're on the way to Veliko, Tarnovo, and we've stopped in this pretty little town of Rosino for a small coffee break. Beautiful sights on the way, some twisties, but the terrain is quite different from Romania. However, it's Saturday and we've had really empty roads, so it's been great fun driving and riding. I need to say that.
The real gem of this day's route was the legendary pass through the Arch of Freedom at Beklemeto. Built in the 1980s to commemorate Bulgarian and Soviet soldiers from World War II, the monument stands tall at 1,520 meters above sea level, a striking reminder of the country's turbulent 20th century history. The view from the arch is a reminder that freedom, like the horizon, is vast and limitless. Monuments like this remind us why we ride, not just for the thrill, but to touch stories larger than ourselves. And the tower and Ajith share the same essence: strong, unyielding, and carrying an incredible spirit of freedom.
We're all thoroughly enjoying it. And of course the route and the ride so far, we've been across the Transfagarasan route and the Transalpina route. Different weather facing, we rode in the rain, in the sun, quite hot, and it's been wholesome so far. It's been really wholesome. It's always nice to be back on a motorcycle,
But what inspires a businessman on the verge of retirement to partner and launch a tour company and embrace a whole new challenge?
It's all his fault. We were coming back from Norway and he said that this was something which he always dreamt about, to start a motorcycling tour company and let people experience the wonders of motorcycling. And I was happily kind of semi-retired, waddling along, and then he said, no, come. And that's how it all started.
Yeah.
And we're enjoying it, enjoying every bit of it.
Like, we meet a lot of people everywhere and make it as a family in the ride. It's always good for us.
With that feeling of family in our hearts, after a good hour spent at this majestic monument, we descended gently into the plains of northern Bulgaria.
Into Veliko, Tarnovo, the city of Tsars. It was once the capital of the Second Bulgarian Empire. Cobblestone streets and the fortress are highlights of this city.
The last day carried a bittersweet mood. Engines rumbled for one last time, carrying us north across the Danube and back into Romania. As Bucharest came into view, the ride slowed, the Arc de Triomphe once again framing our return. What began as a group of strangers had ended as a family. And just like that, in a flash, the week had gone by.
What a fantastic journey this has been. We braved all kinds of weather, crossed varied terrain, and soaked in some breathtaking views. But you know what the fantastic part is? We forged some amazing bonds. Strangers have now become friends that really feel like family, united by our common passion and love for the open road.